I think the main reason why they don't like him is because what he's done with free speech on Twitter. This is a stretch. I mean, they are stretching every law they can to go after this guy.
When Elon bought Twitter, what effectively happened is the biggest PSYOPs organization for the Democratic Party was taken away from them.
He's the target. Go after him. Find something.
Wakey, wakey, Neo, it's time. Open wide. Now, look, I don't normally shove things down people's throats without consent, but this is so important, you don't have a choice. Some very, very bad people and organizations are trying to kill Twitter/X and Elon Musk. No tinfoil hat is necessary for today's video, but be warned, we are going deep down the rabbit hole. There are two parts to today's video, both equally disturbing. Not only is the Biden administration currently weaponizing the Department of Justice to try and damage the reputation of Elon Musk and his companies in an incredibly brazen act of political corruption, but the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, is trying to kill Twitter and, once again, destroy Elon Musk's reputation. The fact that a presidential election is approaching in the United States obviously has nothing at all to do with this. The timing is definitely coincidental, and there's absolutely nothing to see here. But we're still going to take a peek. Oh, and by the way, if rabbit holes are your thing, you should definitely head over to Patreon and also subscribe on X, where I can share a lot of thoughts, opinions, and ideas I dare not speak aloud on YouTube. For what it's worth, I covered the Department of Justice's weaponization against Elon Musk by the Biden administration almost 2 weeks ago over on Patreon. If you don't want to miss out on loads of exclusive content, click the link to the pinned comment to join. First, the All In Besties discuss what I discussed almost 2 weeks ago on Patreon. Feel free to use the timestamps to skip ahead if you've already seen the podcast. That being said, I will add some commentary along the way. Fair warning, this stuff really is disturbing. And if you thought that was disturbing, just wait until you see the second half of this video, in which the ADL attempts to kill X/Twitter and Elon Musk, although hopefully on the latter, not literally. Good news is, Elon is fighting back.
Speaking of crazy politically motivated witch hunts, did you see this latest story today that now there's a new government investigation of Elon? They're investigating him for supposedly Tesla was going to build him a glass house, which he has basically said is ridiculous. It's not true. So the administration, you know, I guess to turn a phrase, people who live in glass houses shouldn't be investigating glass houses. You have the Biden administration now. The latest revelations is that Biden was using a pseudonym in
for
emails.
5,000 emails. And
he was emailing Hunter Biden under the name Robert Peters. Why would you do that about Burisma? So this is how they were communicating. First, Biden said he
that's
knew
some
nothing
serious
about
CIA level.
Yeah. Well, first Biden said, remember,
at yahoo.com.
First Biden said, I don't know anything about my son's business. Then it turns out, based on the sworn testimony of Devin Archer, who is Hunter Biden's partner, that Biden participated in over 20 phone calls where he would call in when they were in the room with clients to, quote, be the brand. And now we find out that Biden was communicating with Hunter about Burisma using a pseudonym account, basically a burner account, under the name Robert Peters.
All allegedly.
Okay, but this is what the Comer investigations turned up.
It's certainly not looking good. And as you said,
so
this
my
is
point
all
is people who live in glass
investigations.
houses shouldn't be investigating glass houses.
So just to be clear, in case anyone watching still has the head firmly planted up their rear end, what laptop? There was no laptop. Also, this is fake news, it's Russian disinformation. There hasn't been uncovered that Joe Biden exchanged approximately 5,000 emails under anonymous addresses with his son. Wait for it, while Joe Biden, then vice president, was in charge of Ukraine relations, and then next minute his son ends up on the board of a Ukraine energy company getting paid millions of dollars because he's very qualified for that job. And hey, why does Ukraine ring a bell? I don't know. Hey, look over there, Orange Man Bad's mugshot. And Joe Biden definitely didn't lie when asked about his son's business dealings and having never talked about them. And then it turns out he's been on a bunch of calls and exchanging. That's more Russian disinformation. Hey, look over there, Orange Man Bad's mugshot. By the way, unrelated matters. Did they ever figure out whose Coke that was? I mean, the beverage, of course, that was discovered in the White House, one of the most secure places on the planet. Oh, they didn't. Oh, how convenient. I guess we'll never know. So that was all a very long-winded way of saying I totally don't understand why David Sachs is making the point about the expression of people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, and then the Biden administration suggesting there's things that are untoward happening with Elon Musk. I just don't understand. He must be planted by Russians to spread misinformation or something like that, right?
Here's the thing. Like, if you're going to evaluate, and listen, obviously I'm biased, but if you're going to investigate Tesla over this, like, people can buy and trade the stock however they want. Like, there seems to be some Biden administration, like jihad against Elon. They're going after him for this. And
totally. Well, no, remember a week or two ago,
they wouldn't invite him to the EV summit. I mean, it's all
I think that's where the whole thing started, is that they wouldn't invite him to the EV summit because they're not a union shop. And then Elon spoke out about that. Remember, Biden introduced the CEO of GM, giving her credit for launching the whole EV revolution. So
remember that? When Biden colluded with GM's Mary B. Aspara to steal Tesla's valor, crediting her for the transition to EVs. You did it, Mary, you led, and it matters. You electrified the whole industry. Remember that? That was outrageous. And why did this happen? David's right. Tesla doesn't have unionized workers. The UAW, the United Auto Workers Union, has literally been bribing the Democrats for the last 30 years. I mean, providing substantial political donations, whereas almost $0 have been going to Republicans, except in a single election year over that same 30-year period. But I don't even know why I mentioned that. It's not like millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars over 30 years would have caused maybe some slightly biased, maybe even corrupt decisions to be made, and the exclusion of Tesla from this EV summit, the misleading of the American public that General Motors had let it mattered. So I don't even know why I mentioned that either. Hey, look over there. A distraction.
Elon criticized the administration for that. But I think the main reason why they don't like him is because what he's done with free speech on Twitter.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Those who seek to control the one true narrative have lost control of the one true narrative thanks to Elon fucking Musk dropping $44 billion to enable people to freely share their thoughts, opinions, and ideas. Prior to now, humanity was on a very dangerous path. There were no large platforms anywhere where anyone could freely share their thoughts, opinions, and ideas. Now, there is at least one. Oh, by the way, what laptop? Oh yeah, let's pretend that never happened. It's not like it changed the outcome of the last presidential election. And now that those who seek to control the one true narrative have lost their ability to control the one true narrative, they're real fucking mad, and they're coming for Elon and X big time. I mean, I just made that up. I better take off my tinfoil hat. That would never actually happen. That'd be insane. That's la 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 la. Oh wait, I forgot. We've already taken the red pill. Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. Wake up, guys. I called this at the time. You will recall tweets that I made when Elon Musk first offered to buy Twitter, then acquired the company, and the deal settled. I said, you will see ferocious attacks from those who seek to control the one true narrative, and they'll ramp up. I absolutely called it, and here we f***ing are. To be clear, Twitter is the only platform I can currently speak freely on. Here on YouTube, I'm not even allowed to make statements of biological fact, and that's about all I'll say on that. Also not allowed to ask certain questions. And the only other thing I'd like to say on that topic is, hey YouTube, go fuck yourselves. I can say that. They won't ban me. I just can't ask certain questions or say a thing is a thing, even if it thinks it's not a thing. Anyway, moving on.
Twitter.
Yeah.
This Glass House investigation is the second one. The one that happened last week is they're investigating SpaceX for supposedly screening out foreign nationals in the hiring process. They are saying...
Wait a second.
The DOJ is alleging that SpaceX was hiring too many Americans and they needed to hire more refugees.
My head's spinning.
Even though there is a law called...
not refugees.
No,
Non-nationals.
refugees.
No, refugees.
Wait. A refugee is somebody fleeing a country
Nick,
because of political persecution. Where did the term refugees come from?
No, it is a term.
A refugee is somebody fleeing a country because of political persecution. Why would they use that term?
The DOJ sued SpaceX basically for DEI foot faults. They said that there was not enough refugees and asylum seekers that were being adequately considered and being hired by SpaceX. The problem with that, as it turns out, is that the DOJ is not even allowed to hire asylum seekers.
I mean,
and refugees.
Well, no. SpaceX is governed under the same laws because it's a rocket company as advanced weapons contractors.
Of course.
And the whole industry has been under the belief for many years that they could only hire American citizens and green card holders for these very sensitive jobs.
Of course.
What happened is earlier in the year, the Biden administration released what they called a clarification. Here, I'll post this. Nick, can you pull this up? So the U.S. DOJ Civil Rights Division released this, again, what they called a clarification, how to avoid immigration-related discrimination when complying with U.S. export control laws. The export control laws is what governs rocket companies and weapons contractors. It's basically the companies that are involved in these sensitive national security areas. Until now, the government was pretty clear that you were only supposed to hire U.S. citizens and green card holders, what they call U.S. persons.
What's the motivation here, Sachs? Explain to me the motivation.
It's crazy because they have this crazy idea that that these companies, these national security companies, should be hiring more refugees and asylum seekers.
Wait.
Even though this is the definition of a national security risk. But the really crazy thing, so first of all, I think this update that they issued, this is lawmaking, okay? They called it a clarification, but this is a Biden administration making new law through,
that's not the process
an administrative
of
agency.
Laws. Yeah.
I think this is a crazy law. It's really the opposite of what we should want, which is more Americans getting jobs.
But Sachs, can I ask you a question?
But what they've done with this lawsuit is they're going back, and remember, the key here is that was only issued in April of this year. They've gone back and said that from 2008 to 2022, SpaceX is governed by this new understanding. So they're basically making it retroactive.
Absolutely fucking insane. The Biden administration is using the Department of Justice as a weapon to bludgeon Elon Musk, which is totally normal and not corrupt. And I don't even know why they'd want to destroy Elon Musk anyway. By the way, is it just me or has Jason been visiting my stylist?
Okay, putting aside this legalese here for a second, I just want to talk first principles. If you were a foreign government and you wanted to infiltrate some company like SpaceX or Anduril or whatever, would it not be easier to send a quote unquote refugee to America
especially
to get in versus flipping an American who already works there? It should be a much easier process.
Especially
so this makes no sense.
Right, because especially since all you have to do is go to the hole in the wall in Yuma, Arizona, as RFK Jr. showed, and you just mentioned the word asylum, like the cartel has taught you to, and all of a sudden you're a refugee, you're in. They give you a piece of paper that tells you you're going to be in court in 3 years, but you're in. Thousands of people, tens of thousands, millions of people have done this.
Now, just to be clear, in case anyone is unaware, when David Sachs says millions of people have crossed the US-Mexico border in the last few years, he literally means millions. Some people are just completely unaware of the situation. The Biden administration, in essence, has rolled out the red fucking carpet. Anyone can come illegally through the US-Mexico border. You know what happens then? Someone takes their details down. Oh, please, what is your name? Oh, you don't have any identification? Okay, well, just tell us your name. You're not a criminal, are you? No? Oh, okay, great, cool. Well, even if you are, who cares, whatever. Here's a piece of paper. We would like you to appear in this city on this date, maybe 3 years from now. Make sure you're there. Make sure you turn up to your court date, because otherwise we won't be able to find you. You're going to do the right thing and have your hearing, right? And of course, the illegal immigrant says, yes, I'll definitely be at that date. Thank you very much. Bye. Never to be seen again.
Also, another pragmatic question, Freeberg. How many people who are coming in as asylum seekers have the advanced degrees or background to work at Anduril, SpaceX? I don't know, pick an aerospace weapons-based company. Like, what percentage of refugees do you think coming across the southern border or whatever border they're coming in would actually have those qualifications? So anyway, this seems insane.
Well, and so, Jake, you raised an interesting point, because I think one of the really unusual things about this DOJ lawsuit against SpaceX is that the remedies they're seeking are unprecedented. What they've said is anybody who was screened out as part of this process was entitled to back pay, lost wages, since they were screened out. So in other words, it assumes that every single one of those people would have been hired.
Would have gotten the job. When in fact, they probably hire 1 out of 1,000 or 1 out of 100 applicants gets hired.
Right.
So it's absurd.
And if they could have gotten a job at SpaceX, as we all know, their bar for hiring is incredibly high, they probably didn't have damages because they could probably get jobs at 10 other companies as well.
Oh my God. The Biden administration is just like self-inflicted wounds here. This is so dumb. What a stupid approach.
So to Jason's point, this is stupid if, and this is a big if, a massive caveat, if enough people in the American public, as in voting Americans who will be voting in the next presidential election, actually have brains and think for themselves, as opposed to not having brains and or just being spoon-fed their beliefs from the fake news. I mean, the hate stream media, who don't hate you and don't hate humanity and aren't covering for this current administration and aren't corrupt, would never lie to you, would never deceive you, would never suppress information, would never do the bidding of anyone in US government, don't do the bidding of their major advertisers. Oh, by the way, it's for your protection, not their quarterly profits. You're up to date, aren't you? Unfortunately, again to Jason's point, the truth is there are a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there who believe what they see in the fake news, which is why so many people are oblivious to this utterly insane corruption. Now, don't get me wrong. There's corruption on both sides of the political aisle, but it is currently the Biden administration running the United States. It is currently the Biden administration weaponizing the Department of Justice to go after Elon Musk.
Is the glass house thing a misallocation of funds claim? Like it's a securities issue? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a securities issue, that it was improperly disclosed and that they may not have filed the proper taxes because it would have been a paid benefit to Elon.
Right.
But I mean, don't you feel like this is a stretch? I mean, they are stretching every law they can to go after this guy. It's getting to be a little bit Trump-like.
I hate to bring it up.
Let's be clear. Here's what's happening. I think that when Elon bought Twitter, what effectively happened is the biggest PSYOPs organization for the Democratic Party was taken away from them.
Chamath has hit the nail on the fucking head. There are many people out there who still are unwilling to accept this. But the Biden administration was using Twitter to censor its own citizens, to stifle conversation, especially throughout the scamdemic, which was really, really dangerous, by the way. And so they had every right to stop people sharing opinions and thoughts and things that I can't even say because I'll probably get deleted from YouTube. Hey, YouTube, go f*** yourselves. The Biden administration is real fucking mad that they've lost control of the one true narrative. Hence, the weaponization of the Department of Justice to try and destroy Elon Musk's reputation. It is no coincidence we're seeing attacks on Tesla, on SpaceX, and Elon Musk personally. I mean, yes, it is a total coincidence. What are you talking about, Stephen, you fucking tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist? You right-wing extremist.
And I think that they are increasingly feeling like if Twitter or X becomes a town square, that's really bad for them. And so they can't shape people. They can't amplify the victimization. They can't amplify the government's going to save you narratives. And so this is the sort of death by 1,000 cuts approach that the blob has of trying to bring him down. And so you see a DOJ lawsuit over here. It's, nominal, but whatever. Then you're going to see, the SEC investigation over $50,000 of glass. I mean, the guy is worth $250 billion and we're sweating the $50,000 glass purchase. But the point is, the goal is to tie him up and to distract him and to basically take resources away, his mind share from working.
For a moment there, I almost thought he was talking about what they're currently doing to Orange Man Bad.
Now, we all know him, so he's going to do the exact opposite.
That's not going to work. Not going to work.
Alex Spiro is going to have a job for the rest of his life. That's his lawyer from Quinn Emanuel. And Alex is going to beat these things back. And generally, Alex will win most lawsuits.
I think you're exactly right about what's motivating this and what's going on. But I'll tell you when it all began is that Biden had a press conference where he said that Elon needed to be looked at. Do you remember this?
Right. Yeah.
And specifically, Biden said, well, I don't know that Elon's done anything wrong, but I think we need to look at his relationships with other countries. So this was the signal to all of the ambitious apparatchiks in our law enforcement agencies who are looking for advancement that he's the target. Go after him. Find something.
Accurate. Of course, this is the only ever instance of the Biden administration picking out a target and going, hey, go after him. Find something. Would never have happened in any other situations at all, ever.
Now, in fact, they couldn't find anything. So they look at his relation with other countries. And what you would expect is that maybe he hired some foreign nationals he shouldn't have. But it was the exact opposite. They didn't hire foreign nationals. So then they make that the crime.
We'll get you on that.
It reminds me of the whole Alvin Bragg thing, where Alvin Bragg made that case that Trump was required by campaign finance laws to pay Stormy Daniels using donor money. But you know that if they had found that Trump paid Stormy Daniels with donations, they would have charged him with that.
Now, David, you can't talk about Orange Man Bad in front of Jason. He's suffering from severe TDS. You're going to have an emotional outburst if you keep going. Stop.
It's like investigating the guy, finding he did nothing wrong, and then charging him with the opposite of what you would expect.
No equivalency between these and Trump's behavior, but sure.
It's the weaponization of the justice system. It's show me the man and I'll show you the crime.
No, incorrect with the last two. I mean, he committed a lot of crimes, but we'll leave that off the docket for now. We're going to agree to disagree on that one. Okay. Just very interesting media-related story and financial.
You're giving Robert Peters too much credit. I mean, Joe Biden.
Listen, Biden's got to go. Trump's got to go.
On that point, I agree. Some better options would certainly be nice. Whether anyone else has a chance of being elected, different story. And now, in completely unrelated matters that don't show a widespread effort to destroy Elon Musk, the Anti-Defamation League is trying to defame Elon Musk and X/Twitter. Oh, the irony. Now, before we get too far into this, I just want to show you guys what happens when this kind of bullshit, this weaponization of an organization, Department of Justice or so on, takes place in an attempt to destroy an enemy. It's never about the outcome of supposed investigations, this, that, or the other. It's always about the effect that allegations, that efforts have, thanks to the hate stream media who amplify this bullshit and cause reputational harm. In fact, let's have a look at some of the harm that's currently being caused by the ADL to the reputation of Elon Musk and X/Twitter, who once again have nothing to do with people being able to freely share their thoughts, opinions, and ideas, and therefore those who seek to control the one true narrative, having lost control of the one true narrative. Oh, and the US presidential election also isn't coming up soon, so none of that has anything to do with anything, so I should just edit that out and let's move on. On screen now, I just searched on Google, and by the way, this is in an incognito tab, so this isn't preferentially displaying news for certain users. This is a blank slate. Anyone who's not signed into Google, using Google for the first time, searching for Elon Musk news, will find these 3 headlines in order, at least from my location, Australia. First headline, Elon Musk blames Jewish, well, that doesn't sound good, does it? Defense group for X ad sales slump. Second headline, Elon Musk promotes campaign to ban ADL while agreeing with raging anti-Semite. Third headline, Elon Musk amplifies calls by anti-Semites to ban ADL from X. Maybe a good time to ask, how's it taste? They are trying to destroy Elon Musk. However, he's now fighting back. They picked the wrong target. Fatal mistake. They fucked around and they are now going to find out. This post from Ashley St. Clair on X. I'm old enough to remember when the ADL smeared Libs of TikTok founder Chaya Raichik, an Orthodox Jewish woman, as anti-LGBTQSLMNOP. Here's a shot from the ADL website. Libs of TikTok is a popular LGBTQSTMN. Sorry guys, I'm not used to pronouncing that. Anti-alphabet Twitter account operated by former real estate agent Chaya Raichik. The account, which has over 1.3 million followers as of August 2022, attempts to generate outrage and stoke anti-alphabet hostility by reposting selected out-of-context social media content created by alphabet people and liberals. Elon Musk responds, ADL has pushed hard for us to shut down accounts like Chaya's, even though it has nothing to do with anti-Semitism, which is their supposed charter. The Libs of TikTok account, which clearly a lot of people have interest in, here's the most recent post from Libs of TikTok on X on the alphabet topic. Would you be comfortable with this male in the woman's restroom with your daughter? That's a reasonable question to ask. Another post here. They target kids' spaces with trans propaganda because they're after our kids and their innocence. This is from a follower in Utah. Got a kids' books section with a flag that has nothing to do with kids' books, which is kind of weird, isn't it? Why would you have a big flag dominating the kids' books display? Is this a kids' flag? I don't understand. Maybe they like the pretty colours. So it is worth pondering. Why would the ADL push X/Twitter really hard to have an account banned who are supposedly anti-alphabet when the ADL is apparently all about squashing anti-Semitism? Interesting question, isn't it? More from Elon Musk. Despite the immense harm ADL has done to X/Twitter, they still will not be banned in this platform unless they break the law. Clearly, this guy has principles. To clear our platform's name on the matter of anti-Semitism, it looks like we have no choice but to file a defamation lawsuit against the Anti-Defamation League. Oh, the irony. Well fucking said, bro. Hilariously, in response to that post from Elon, wouldn't be the first time the Defamation League would be found to have defamed people. Judge finds ADL $10.5 million in Colorado defamation suit. Musk responds, interesting. In our case, they would potentially be on the hook for destroying half the value of the company, so roughly $22 billion. And regarding the ADL's efforts to have Libs of TikTok banned from X, dear Elon, please consider releasing all communication, providing full transparency on the ADL and other organizations who have pushed to censor certain accounts on Twitter/X. Sincerely, thousands of users who have been suspended, throttled, silenced, and shadow banned. By the way, before Elon took over Twitter, I too had my fair share of shadow bans. Apparently, I said some things that went against the one true narrative. Who'd have thought? Elon responding to this? Great point. A giant data dump would clear the air. Some more discussion from Elon here regarding the destruction of value at Twitter/X due to ADL. Based on what we've heard from advertisers, ADL seems to be responsible for most of our revenue loss. Giving them maximum benefit of doubt, I don't see any scenario where they're responsible for less than 10% of the value destruction, so around $4 billion. Document discovery of all communications between the ADL and advertisers will tell the full story. Oh my god, this is going to be good. By the way, if you guys don't really understand the whole legal process, discovery here, if a lawsuit takes place, all the communications between ADL and advertisers regarding X/Twitter will come to light, become part of the evidence in the case. Libs of TikTok responding to Elon responding. This is getting really meta, isn't it? Elon suggests he will release the data relating to the ADL and other organizations pushing to censor and silence X accounts. We need a full list of which organizations pushed for censorship and which accounts were affected. Things are about to get wild. Elon responding, hilariously by the way, and that's for sure. Might take it till next week, as we're short-staffed this week. Even more discussion from Elon Musk. Advertisers avoid controversy. So all that is needed for ADL to crush our US and European ad revenue is to make unfounded accusations. Again, this is how it works. Unfounded is the key word. Unfounded accusations are all that's necessary. The truth does not matter. The harm is always done and the media helps. We've just seen some headlines, right? They don't look good. A lot of people with small brain syndrome will go, oh, Elon doesn't like Jewish people. I saw it on the internet. And that's it. Harm's done. And the same shit from ADL. They're scaring off advertisers who are full of people with small brain syndrome who don't think for themselves, oh my God, we can't have anything to do with that. They said it's, oh, get off Twitter now. And that's what happens. They have much less power in Asia. So our ad revenue there is still strong. This, quote, controversy causes advertisers to pause, but that pause is permanent until ADL gives the green light, which they will not do without us agreeing to secretly suspend or shadow ban any account they don't like. Sounds kind of corrupt, doesn't it? That is the relationship they've had with X/Twitter for many years. Presumably, they have that with all Western search or social media orgs. I think he's onto something. A user asking here, how many anti-Semitic accounts are real versus how many are funded/operated by the DNC to create fear and division? Uh-oh, we're getting into PSYOP territory now. It is impossible to tell with unverified accounts whether you're dealing with a small or large number of real people, as sophisticated bots are virtually indistinguishable from humans. With unverified accounts, there is also no way to tell if the organisation complaining was somehow complicit in creating the very thing they complain about. Oh, geez, now that would never happen, would it? That sounds really fucking sketchy. Musk also shared this article. The Facebook, oh lol, next level trolling, caved to far left pressure groups and now allows them to silently dictate policy in exchange for ad money. Kind of sounds a little bit like a cartel, doesn't it? Inside the ad boycott that has Facebook on the defensive. This from 2020. The advertising boycott battering Facebook is unlike anything the social media giant has faced in its 16-year history. 3 days in, 800 companies worldwide have pulled millions of dollars in advertising from the social network, with brands from Coca-Cola to Ford demanding that Facebook monitor hate speech more aggressively. Didn't take long to search through this article to find the magic words. The Anti-Defamation League. Along with common sense, the ADL began spreading word through progressive political circles that their small coalition was thinking of pushing for a 1-month ad boycott of Facebook. Skipping ahead a little bit in this article, just before it launched, as in the boycott Facebook campaign, the campaign got a prominent boost. At an online event on June 16th, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a strong Facebook critic, said, quote, advertisers have tremendous leverage over the company and, quote, I would say to them, know your power, end quote. The next day, Stop Hate for Profit trumpeted the same message in an ad in the Los Angeles Times. While he wouldn't tell me if it was just a coincidence, Jim Steyer pointed out that he and his brother, a billionaire and former presidential candidate, are close with Pelosi and her staff and called the speaker's message very timely. So I think you guys get the point, right? Despicable groups like ADL pressure companies to censor accounts, to delete opinions, to stifle the conversation. Otherwise, if you don't do it, here's a bunch of advertisers who've already agreed they're going to boycott you because we told them that your website's bad and you need to do things, otherwise they shouldn't advertise there anymore. Would you like to lose insane amounts of money or just do what we tell you to do? Oh, you don't want to lose the money? Okay, well, here's what we want you to do. Delete these accounts, ban these accounts, demote these accounts. Thank you. And because not a single pair of testicles exists except within X, these little pussies bend over and allow groups like ADL to have their way with them. Fucking disgusting. So as you can clearly see, they are trying to destroy Elon Musk. And who exactly are they? As I mentioned, those who seek to control the one true narrative, to censor opinions they don't like, to censor questions and discussion they don't like, to stifle the conversation, to interfere in the democratic process, to do the bidding of donors, major advertisers, interest groups, and others. Unfortunately for these dumb motherfuckers, they have absolutely picked the wrong target in Elon Musk. Things are about to get very interesting indeed. Hope you've enjoyed exploring a little bit of the rabbit hole. It goes a lot deeper. Oh, and speaking of, don't forget to subscribe over on X and on Patreon. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon. And don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.